Here, and in today's video we're going to break down exactly the right way on the steps for virtual wholesaling, because really people complicate virtual wholesaling a lot. And what I want to do today is break down the 6 simple steps to virtual wholesaling and really simplify the virtual wholesaling process so you can get this get started guide for virtual wholesaling and really break down the steps needed for virtual wholesaling success. So I'm excited for this, guys. I love everyone on here. So many people on before when we went live here, and they're all showing their love and support. I appreciate it. I'm excited. This is Saul's first time on the live, so this is really exciting. I'm telling you guys, we're here to change lives, and we're here to teach everything you need to know about wholesaling real estate. So I'm excited. So before we get into it, guys, before we break down the top 6 basic steps to virtual wholesaling, do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, all that fun jazz, and we'll get it going. But here's the thing. Before we get going, before I share the 6 steps, this is a live video, guys. Y'all can tell. I ain't the most perfect live streaming person out here, but I try to be as consistent as I can on this. So let's break down virtual wholesaling, the 6 steps you need to know about it, and really how to simplify the game for virtual wholesaling. And obviously, this is live. Answer all the questions you got. What is up, guys? How are you? What is up? So I think Kip kind of explains this the best. You got to get out of bed. If you want to learn this business, everyone's ready for the song. It gets everyone jacked up to get started in this business and get started today. So let's get it going, guys. Let's get out of bed. Let's get it going. Woo! I'm ready to start changing lives today and get it. I'm just excited, guys. This is the time to be alive for wholesaling. All the education is in front of you here. So without further ado, let's get it going.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, again, they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Oh, yeah. Let's get it. I love this. So let's break it down, guys. Let's break down virtual wholesaling, the steps for it. Name me another guru that get you jacked up with a DJ live stream like that. I don't think any other gurus got that, because I'm not a guru. This is not a corporate type style where I have a publishing company that owns my coaching program. I forget, a lot of people forget that like these YouTube channels are actually owned by publishing companies that get like a huge percentage of all the guru revenue, and they have to get approved. Guys, there's none of this. Okay. It's just me and Rick, and we basically just try to spend as much knowledge in the game as possible. We're not beholden to a publishing company like gurus and coaches are, where they have to, I have a boss. Every single guru, not every single one, but probably out of the top 10 YouTube gurus out there, I would probably say 4 or 5 of them have bosses. Not TV show bosses, but bosses for the coaching. They have a boss they have to actually work for, and that boss makes most of the money. Kind of crazy to think they're called. I'm not going to break it down, but I'm just telling you, we're not beholden to that. We don't have bosses. We are our own bosses while we do this business. I think it's curious. If you got a local guru, ask them, hey, who's your publishing company? Who's your boss, right? And I think it's cute. But what I can tell you right now is we're not beholden to anyone. So this means I can give you the virtual wholesaling information that most will charge thousands of dollars for. And I know for a fact that so many people complicate this business. And really what I'm here to do in today's video is simplify the virtual wholesaling business the right way. And if you want to get started in virtual wholesaling, this is going to be a really good guide for you on the basics. This isn't like, we're not going to go in the nitty gritty for like everything on this guide, but I think it's really important to just go over the simple steps when you're going in here and implementing a virtual wholesaling business, because taking action and implementation, that is going to be the hardest part about starting a virtual wholesaling operation. So this is what I'm excited for. MJJ Smooth Criminal, always on, always providing value. I really appreciate you. Says, hey, Zach, let's go. This is the live I need. Awesome. I'm excited about this one. Shane says this intro is fire. I appreciate that. Let's get it going. So let's break down the 6 steps for virtual wholesaling. Really wanted to share them today. Remember, guys, everything I talk about is at freewholesaling.com. Like everything I say, it is a dumbed down version of what's actually like the info, which is at freewholesaling. Freewholesaling.com is literally the Netflix of real estate investing. Literally, everything you need to know about wholesaling. It's a wholesaling course. It's a creative finance course. It's a subject to mentorship course. It is a cold calling course. It is a flipping course. Everything you need to know about real estate investing is on there. And it's exciting. So what I'm telling you is everything I say is, if you need more information about it, at freewholesaling.com. So just keep that in mind, and let's break it down. So let's break down the 6 steps of virtual wholesaling. So what is virtual wholesaling before we get it going? I'm ready. I'm just telling you, virtual wholesaling is the wholesaling real estate process, where the wholesaling real estate process is basically me flipping paper, flipping a contract on a piece of real estate. We do not own the piece of real estate. We actually own the contract and the rights to that contract, and we sell the equitable interest to that deal. Now, I'm getting a lot of DMs and comments about this whole Nebraska thing. After I'm done talking about this, I'll break down my thoughts and opinions on it. I was told, I told you so. The world is ending. And, you know, all 4 people that live in Nebraska are going to be done. I'll show you the loopholes. I will tell you right now, with the new Nebraska law that came out, the only thing that's illegal is to publicly market a real estate deal. What does that mean? Basically, you can privately market. If I personally call a cash buyer, personally, that's not public marketing. Now, if I publicly market, hey, any cash buyers, if I didn't put an address there, it's illegal. I'll break down the whole loopholes around that, especially we're learning about virtual wholesaling. So I think it's cute. I think it's cute when regulation is the scary thing, when in essence, all you can't do is post a deal out there, which is already something I don't even do. So freewholesaling.com, you just do exactly what we say there. We're fine. Like nothing really changed, but I'll break it down a little later, just because I think I've seen some comments already on there, and I'll give you my thoughts. It won't be a scary guru pitch fest. I'm not going to scare you into buying my transactional funding program. I'm not going to scare you into buying my $15,000 track Fastly mentorship. No, I'll show you exactly what to do. But let's sort of break down the 6 steps of virtual wholesaling, and really break down the processes you're going to need to know. Let's break it down. So let's break down the 6 steps here. So step 1, guys, in virtual wholesaling. So if you want to get started in virtual wholesaling, what is the first thing you have to do? This is step 1. So if you're in Los Angeles, San Fran, Chicago, like you want to start virtual wholesaling, the first step you're going to have to do is you're going to have to identify. So step 1 is identify. What is identify? Identify is basically you have to choose a market. That is step 1. We're doing this virtual wholesaling stuff. It seems complicated. If you break it down in 6 simple steps and you get each step done, you can start implementing your systems in under a week, obviously. Like very simple. So let's break down step 1. So identify. We have to find the right market. Now, this seems, oh, Zach, that seems easy for you, right? Finding the right market seems super, super stupid simple, right? Unfortunately, identifying the right market is a lot tougher than you actually think. Because it depends where you're at. Again, for most people, I think in-person wholesaling is probably going to be the best. But obviously, a lot of you guys are doing virtual. Like I got some people in New Zealand watching, Pakistan, Philippines, England, everywhere. So it's pretty cool, all the people watching. But Africa in the house. So I think it's awesome. Canadians. So you have to identify what market you want to do. And a lot of people make this mistake in virtual wholesaling when they're starting out trying to identify a market, they try to go to the closest metro market to them. Let's say they live in San Francisco and they're like, I'm going to virtual wholesale in Fresno, California, Oakland, right? Because they want to be at least 4 hours away from that market. And they think because they're close enough, theoretically, they can go out here and, drive if they have to the deal, which I think is kind of stupid. Virtual wholesaling has no difference if you're virtually wholesaling in Maine or Seattle. Like that's how that literally you have an internet connection. It's literally an IP address at that point. I would not be sweating over it. So we have to identify what market to do. And I did a video on the top 25 virtual wholesaling markets. I think if you choose any of those, you're going to be fine. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to tell you which one to identify because I would tell everyone, hey, everybody, go to Jacksonville, Florida. Everybody watching this is just going to go to Jacksonville, Florida. Now, it's a good market. I'm not telling you that's the market you should choose, but I don't think it's too bad of a market. I mean, there's really good ones out there, but like everyone to do that one, and then if we're going to get in trouble, it's going to be a complete mess. So I probably wouldn't do just Jacksonville, but if I say Jacksonville, everyone's going to go there. So I got to be careful what I say. But really what I found is that just lower ARV markets are going to be best with a decent amount population. What is this? I found the Southeast of the United States really good for this. I found the Midwest really good for this. For example, Detroit, Michigan, it seems saturated, but it's still really good. Michigan in general, Ohio, parts of Indiana work pretty well. If you have a license, Illinois would probably be pretty decent too. Kentucky, that whole Cincinnati, Dayton market, the Virginia's amazing. I'm just telling you, the whole Southeast is really good. North Carolina is amazing. South Carolina is amazing. Georgia, parts of Florida, usually northern Florida, the Panhandle, Big Bend region, amazing. Even out west, some of the cheaper market, like the Valley in California is pretty good. Like you just got to find a lower ARV. Tennessee is one of my favorite states for virtual wholesaling. You really have to identify yourself what market you want to do. Look at my top 25. Just search top 25 space Zach Ginn or space Flip with Rick, and it'll pop up. And just choose one of those markets or a market you've actually researched, and that's how I identify the market. Now go to step 2, which is basically us researching that market and then infiltrating the market. This is kind of interesting, right? Infiltrating is a weird word, but I think that's a word I've chose very carefully, and I think it's pretty important. So when we find the market we want, we have to actually go in there and actually research that market and see what's the best and really find out the culture, the top dogs in the market, things like that. So step 2, we're going to research and then infiltrate the market. It should take a night to do. So what do we figure out here? We're going to figure out what zip codes work the best. We're going to find the top wholesalers in that market. We're going to figure out what marketing strategies are best there. We're going to figure out what the competition's marketing strategy is, right? We're also going to figure out where deals are being done, what areas, zip codes, cities in that county, title companies, the culture of that place. Each city has their own little culture. And that's, et cetera. Like that's what we're going to be focusing on. And I think it's really important we do this because if you really want to focus on knowing that market in and out, what marketing works, because there's some markets where bandit signs work really well and reverse drawing for dollars, SMS works. And there's some markets where, pre-foreclosures just don't work. Probates. So some markets, probates actually don't really work too well. And then there's markets where probates do really well. There's markets where pre-foreclosures are the best. There's markets where pre-foreclosures are terrible. You have to do your research on it and figure it out. And what I found is by looking at your competition and seeing the best people and figuring out what they're doing, there might be a reason why people are only doing direct mail in that market, right? And there might be a reason why only people are doing cold calling that market, right? So that's what I'd be doing. I'd be researching, going to Facebook groups, finding what cash buyers are buying at, find the best zip codes. The best zip codes, you just use the list source hack at freewholesaling.com. You just go to free wholesaling, you go to virtual wholesaling. It'll show you actually how to do that and figure out where the cash sales are being done in the zip code, teach you there absolutely for free. This is the important stuff you have to be looking at. Go to those Facebook group and say, hey, what's the best title company for XYZ city? And you'll see it. It'll pop up. Step 3, again, now we got the market research. We have the market. Now we do the marketing. That's pretty simple. We got to figure out if cold calling is going to be best, SMS text blasting. Really figure out which one is the best channel we're going to be doing. Some people do RVM still. Hey, if it works, right? And then you got to figure out what list to pull. Probates, government lists, code violations, water shutoffs, tax delinquencies, pre-foreclosures. I would probably steer clear from cold calling that list though. And really do the water shutoffs also, and then just start cold calling that list, texting that list, whatever budget you have, and go from there. Now that basically brings us to step 4 too. Now we got to implement it once. Literally, again, I talked about this yesterday for quite a length, so I think a lot of people know this. But marketing is about just finding that yes. Say, hey, someone says, hey, yes, I'm looking to sell my property. I'm qualified, and you break that down, you're going to do well. Now, step 4 is once you get that yes, we're going to lock that property up. Now, acquisitions for virtual wholesaling, all you really got to use like a DocuSign or dot loop. Pretty simple. You just upload a PDF, click a button to have this person sign here, the seller, and then have the buyer, which is you, to actually do that. And it really should be pretty simple. That's probably what I do. Acquisition is going to be fine. The acquisitions is different from actual wholesaling in the sense that we actually have to go lock up the deal over the phone and not in person. A little harder to get deals this way, but it is a option for us, especially in wholesaling. So I'd use like DocuSign probably. That's probably my favorite one, or Adobe. Has some good free ones too, but that's really where I would be doing. And then number 5 here, we got dispositions, basically selling the deal. So acquisitions and dispositions for virtual wholesaling need to work hand in hand because we have to build trust with the seller. And most importantly here, we need to work on getting runners. These are boots on the grounds runners. These are people that are going to take pics of the property. So if I want to sell my deal or know if the property's in good condition or not and really run the comps the right way, I'm going to have to get a runner, somebody I see from a Facebook jobs group, to go out here and actually take pictures of the property. Once they're taking pictures of the property, we're good. We got some more pictures. We can send that over to the cash buyer and actually have them look at the house and then sell it for whatever price we want. They assign it. So basic acquisition is getting the property under contract. Disposition is going to go sell that contract for a profit. Assignment's going to be the same for regular wholesaling. And then boom, we sell the deal. Title companies, everything that's going to be part of that research process for it. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, is going to be your networking. In virtual wholesaling, your networking is going to have to be amazing. And this is the last strategy of the 6 steps for virtual wholesaling. You have to spend so much time going out here and networking with local realtors for cash buyers. They can actually be your free runners. If you want to get a runner for free, your cash buyers are probably going to be a really good opportunity for that. You can find boots on the ground too, but like I would probably use a realtor, like if you can find that connection. Actually go network with title companies too, other agents, other wholesalers in your area. A lot of JVing can be done really well there. And that's really what the networking side is it. So at the end of the day, we're going to have to do the 6 steps if we're going to start implementing virtual wholesaling. The reason why I wanted to make them as simple as possible is because a lot of people complicate this business. They really complicate the way of actually implementing it. They think, oh, I got to create this LLC. I got to do this, all these complicated steps. You guys, do you see how I mentioned you need an LLC at once here? I never mentioned it once that you need an LLC for success here. I never said that once. Might be shocking to a lot of people, but that's the truth. I always recommend you get at least 2 deals before you get that LLC. And that's going to change a lot of things for you. And really, once you start taking the barriers, the excuses out of actually going out here and starting virtual wholesaling, the faster you are on to getting your first deal. Most people struggle because of this analysis paralysis, which I've seen a lot more lately. I just gave the 6 steps. And if you have a question about that, let me know. I'd love to break it down. But really, that's what I've seen. So again, this is identify. We're going to find the right market. We're going to research and infiltrate that market. We're basically going to find the zip codes at work, the top wholesalers, best marketing channels there, what our competition's doing, where the deals are being done, title companies, culture, etc. Step 3, marketing. We're going to start marketing, building the list, acquisitions, get the property under contract, dispo, take pics, find a cash buyer, assign it to them, do the walkthrough, And 6, constantly networking so we can make a bunch of money and constantly getting a nice lead flow in here and never really have an issue selling the deal. That is the 6 steps for virtual wholesaling. That's really what I recommend for success here. Let me know what questions you have. I know we got some questions here and really break it down. So that is what I have to say. So let's see what questions we got and break it down. All right, let's see what we got. Let's get some questions going. What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day today. Love talking about wholesaling. All right. Brandon says, love this guy. Appreciate it, Brandon. Thank you. We'll be billionaires soon if they are made. Okay. So virtual wholesaling question. How the heck is the runner supposed to get access to the inside of the property, especially if the owner's out of state? Do I ask them to mail the key? So that's an issue, obviously. If the owner's out of state, I'd probably have them mail the key to someone they know in that city. This has happened a couple times. Usually there's a garage door opener. Most of the time, though, like a door is probably unlocked. So most likely you're going to have to pay to have that key overnighted, not to you, but probably to a neighbor or someone they know in that local city. That's probably going to be the best bet you have. Another thing you can do is if you have to get a key mailed to them, it's going to be hard for them to trust you. I would probably give them your driver's license and just so they know who's coming in and out of the property. So if you go in there, throw a party, destroy it, they'll know who did it, and it'll make them think safer in their mind. And then obviously you can FaceTime them or call them, let them know that you actually locked the property up and you put it under a lockbox. That'll be probably the best one. Second question, the sellers have agreed to the house will be inspected by the buyers, right? So is a simple yes over the phone good, or do I have to put it in writing? No, I'd have an inspection period that'll probably protect you. All righty. Boom, boom, boom. Ready. All righty. Steady go. Maria says, hey, sending lots of thank yous to Zach and Rick. Question. Does getting asked here. Does the end buyer and seller pay closing fees? Can I incorporate that into the purchase and sale agreement and assignment of contract? Thanks so much. So does the end buyer and seller pay closing fees? So the end buyer will pay the closing fee, not the seller. So the only fees the only fees the seller is going to pay is usually the prorated taxes. I try to get everything in writing to save yourself the trouble. All right. Maria says, yes, it would be put into the contract that the end buyer will cover that, or seller, depending how much you set it up. All right. Perfect. Hello, all from Philly. What is up? Jason says, help me. I'm poor. All right, Jason. Well, if you need help, bro, all you really got to do is just go to freewholesaling.com. It should all be in there to help you out. But that'd be my advice. Saul says, first time. I got to watch this live from the beginning. Saul, welcome. Hope you're pumped up. Hopefully watch the beginning part. Got excited for that one. Let's see. What is up, Zach? What is up? How are you, Shane? What is up, guys? How are you? What is up? Awesome. Sitting in Dallas traffic, watching it live. Awesome. How can I go over? Wait, hey, can you go over reverse mortgages? I keep getting homeowners with that. I would avoid reverse mortgages. They just become very, very tricky. Usually the equity's not there, and it's just a hassle. Reverse mortgages are never good. They're coming for you for desperation. it's a mess. Unless there's equity, get a title company to help you out with it. But I would stay clear from reverse mortgages. Where can I get this clip? I find it strongly motivational. Watch my lives. That's all I can tell you. Yeah. What's up? Get up. Get up. This intro is fire. Awesome. Maria says, can I DM you a question about a guru? I know it's a sore subject, but I'm not sure if I can avoid that person or not, if I should consider them a guru. I know you don't like to call them out. Maria, I would not. You can DM me whatever you want. If they're a guru, I recommend you. If they're a guru, I recommend you avoid them. I'm telling you, if they're trying to sell you a $15,000 course for mentorship, I would be avoiding them like the plague. Sorry, I could get in trouble for saying that, but I would avoid them like the plague. Michael says, about to start making 3-hour calls. Awesome. Appreciate that. Hey, Zach, you always tell us what list to go after, but which list should we avoid, especially beginners, and why should we avoid them? Raphael, the best list to avoid, here's the issue. You're going to have to go look and figure out which ones you should be avoiding or not. So it depends on your market, obviously. I would say the list to avoid are the unknown equity lists. I just think they're terrible lists. Especially if you're a beginner, I would just be avoiding that. Completely terrible list. I don't like that. The next list I think you should avoid, in my humble opinion, going to get in trouble for this one, but I would say you should probably avoid high equity lists. If you are brand new in this business, if you're starting out and you don't have thousands of dollars every single month for cold calling, SMS text blasting, I would probably avoid high equities. That's more of a higher volume list that I'm not recommending. Door knocking a list, I probably would avoid unless it's a pre-foreclosure lead. This is for most people. Oh, Zach, I do great door knocking. Hey, that's great. I love that you do great door knocking, but it's probably not going to be the best thing for you. If bandit signs are illegal in your market, I'd be avoiding that. And then the classic PPCs, Facebook ads, like that type of marketing, I'd probably stay clear of that. Those are lists I probably would avoid, though. Hey, Zach, let's get this live. Awesome. Shane, what is up? Says, Zach, once I get a deal done, what should I invest that money in to make it easier for me to get my next deal? So let's see here. Zach, once I get a deal done, what should I invest that money in to make it easier for me to get my next deal? Honestly, I would double down whatever you got your first deal in. So the way that I look at this is, let's say you get a deal from bandit signs. I would probably reinvest and do that again. If you got a deal from SMS, I'd probably, whatever's working in your market, I would probably double down on that. That's what I've seen. Where do I find cash buyers who purchase mobile homes? ListREI.com is probably going to be your best bet for that. You could, though, potentially, just go to mobile home parks and then put mobile home for sale and find people who want to buy in that park. That could be another really good potential one for you. Cash buyer groups on Facebook are really good too. Russian Esco said, should I follow 7% of ARV in high ARV areas and low? We follow 50% of ARV today, negative 20 if it's a gut. I would do the 83% unless I would only do 70 unless ARV is under 130. Facebook user says, Zach, are you using different LLCs in different states for the same one? We have different tax strategies, trusts, LLCs, all this stuff, just when you got a bigger operation. But what I can tell you is I would use one LLC, though, especially in multiple states. Probably going to use one. Ready? Yeah, a person I know purchased a course for $7,000. That's ridiculous. The courses have info that we learned for free on YouTube. I'm telling you, it's stupid. It's insane. Lower Georgia seems like a gold mine for fix and flips. Oh, yeah. It's a big market, too, you know? What number do you consider low ARV? Under $120,000 is what I would consider a low ARV deal. Pure Anaxon says, you think I should start virtual wholesaling at 17 in this market? Oh, yeah. Dude, it doesn't matter what age you are. Like, I started this business at 17. If I was 17 again, I'd be doing the same exact thing. Legit, this is like the perfect opportunity for you to get started in wholesaling. Like, this is the best time because you have all the information out here and there's literally no excuses out here not to be successful. Baltimore, say Baltimore. I ain't gonna say Baltimore. Baltimore gets it's a tough market to be doing. It's definitely not one I'm striving to like be running after. So I'd possibly avoid that one. Who is 007 says, what site do you figure out low ARV markets? You do Zillow and just do median price point and pop it up. Atlanta is extremely saturated, but if you do niche lists, I think you'll be fine there. Do y'all find the best deal first or the cash buyer? I find the deal first and the cash buyer. I had a hard time. Sandra S says, with low market, some houses in the 20K, others 110s. Yeah. Hello, what is up? From Philly. How are you? How are you? Runners, that's where I'm stuck with virtual wholesaling. If you're struggling with runners, just go to the Facebook jobs site, I'm telling you, or just call a realtor and see if they want to make a quick $50. They're pretty, I don't think they're that hard. You know, you pay someone $50 to go take pics on their iPhone for 30 minutes. I think it's a lot of people would be doing that. I created an LLC. I should have started watching Zach before. No big deal. All righty. Facebook user says, can you explain the logistics behind it if you're having an agent write up the offer? That term's put in the MLS contract. Even if you're wholesaling on the MLS, I would not have an agent write up an offer. Especially in your state that dual agency is legal. I would have that agent be doing the dual agency. So they get the 3% buyer's commission and the 6% seller's commission because your offer is going to be lower than the average one, but they're going to put yours in the forefront because realtors are inherently greedy and you'll do better. Justin Lee says, how do you recommend structuring a payment for your people on the ground in acquisition or dispo? Again, in freewholesaling.com, we kind of break down the payment plans too. Acquisition is roughly going to be 10 to 15%. Dispo is going to be 5 to 10. Jason says, I have a lead that says she wants to sell in October, but needs to pay for some of her mortgage off. What should I say in my follow-up? It needs to pay some of her mortgage off. Does she have to pay that mortgage off when she sells it in October, or does she have to? I don't think she doesn't need to pay it off now. Yeah, let me know. Teen Ambition says, best way to go about building a wholesaling operation while working part-time after school. 17 years old, by the way. If you want to start like building a wholesaling operation, especially when you're like 17, I would start driving for dollars, honestly, like after school. Oh, I don't have a car. Bike for dollars. Skateboard for dollars. Run for dollars. Walk for dollars. I don't really care about your excuses. Skateboarding for dollars. I'd probably bike for dollars, honestly. Get some exercise while you're at it, right? But that's probably what I'm doing, you know. Just walk around your neighborhood, drive around your area, look for nasty looking houses, right? Write them down, find their phone number, call them up, get the property under contract, then sell that for a profit. Like that's the best fundamental way I would be starting out. Jason says, what's a decent sized list and how many times should I call before pulling one? I would say $3,000 to $4,000 or $5,000 is probably going to be a decent list. That's what I'm thinking. Johnny says, just want to say thanks. Have been studying to do over at freewholesaling.com. Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate that. Appreciate everyone going on here and actually helping. I appreciate everyone out here providing value. And watching the lives. It means a lot. REI Jones says, anybody want to team up? I can do acquisitions if you pay for marketing. It could be a good one. Let's see here. In Boston. Boston's a decent market. Like, it's a lot of people complain about Boston, but the high ARVs, once you get a deal, they're like really, really good deals. So you got to be careful with that too. What's up, Pensacola? Just got my code violation list. Fernando. I love it. Pensacola is a great market. That whole Escambia County region in Florida, it's amazing. It's basically Alabama at that point, but you probably know that if you're in Alabama. But great market. MJJ Smooth Criminal says, Zach, have you ever got to the end buyer and pay the EMD when the seller asks for the 1% of the purchase price for their have you ever got the end buyer to pay the EMD? No, because I never really had to worry about that because my EMDs were always $100 and I always had at least had $100. Yeah, you can get the buyer to do it though. It's probably not the best. Available to be boots on the ground in Hillsborough County. Thanks, Zach, for all your training. Of course, Sue. Thank you. Best way to find cash buyers. Do you think it's a good time to call the realtors on recent flips in the area? Oh, yeah. Call the realtors. Freewholesaling.com. Get the people on. Yes. What exactly does your wholesale course provide? Okay, so this is a question like, Zach, sell me on the course, you know? Why should I spend this much money on a course? Guys, it's a free course. I'm not going to pitch you on a free course. It's free. Okay? I just go to the course and look at it yourself. I'm not here to sell you on a free course. This is ridiculous. You're not talking about gurus selling you a $12,000 mentorship, and I got to schmooze you to go in the course. There's 20,000 people in it, okay? Like, just go in there and say it's free. Freewholesaling.com, because there's like a city of like 50,000. And then I go tell 60,000 wholesalers watching me where to go. It ain't gonna be good. It's ultimately you're gonna have to do your research, man. I look on Facebook groups and find where a lot of young people are doing deals. That's one secret I have found, and that'll probably be your best chance of success.
Mm-hmm. And one question is the agent lockbox. Can we just use the agent's lockbox instead of getting like a runner and all of that type of stuff? Or do some people don't even have to have a runner in some markets? Heard some people buy blindly.
A legit cash buyer is not gonna. I'm just telling you right now, a legit cash buyer is not gonna buy blindly.
Mm-hmm. So I should use the agent's lockbox and get the code and let them get in during inspection period.
If the seller gives you permission, then yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then. And another question was, earnest money is with realtors. This is with realtors on market. So pay the earnest money after inspection period, right? Like, I just give them like 2,000, let's say. I'm not paying it because I don't want to I will make the cash buyer pay it. But just do it after the inspection period.
Purchase or an assignment?
Assignment.
The cash buyer, yes, they'll pay after the inspection.
All right. Mm-hmm. And during the inspection period, I should find the cash buyer, right? Not wait till the end.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then. Those were the few questions. This is just nerve-wracking at times. There's so much of things.
Don't be stressed, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be stressed.
And you see the way how I'm getting a little stressed while I'm talking to you? Because I'm trying to think of questions on top, right on top. So imagine you're doing this with realtors or cold calling and see how weird that will become.
Dude, don't be nervous, man. Just take a breath, dude. I'm not here to be mean, man. You might see me eat up some gurus, but you ain't no guru, man. I ain't gonna be mean, man. Dude, just calm down, man. This business is what's the worst that's gonna happen, right? You call and a realtor and they're like, no, I'm not going to sell to you. You're fine. Most of the stress you get when you're starting out is you're overthinking this business. And that's probably the problem. You saw it. I talked about the 6 steps. That's all you got to do. You're at step 1. focus on identifying, right? And then getting the other steps after that.
By the way, on if you have a little more time, if you can answer, if you can ask.
As much time as you want, man.
Okay, so on MLS, let's say I get a deal on, like, let's say the listing is 65,000. Let's say I get it for 55,000, but I wholesale it again at 65,000 because it meets the ARV percentage. Will a cash buyer like buy it at that time, because even though it meets the requirements, but they will see it's not like less than the listing price? How will that work there?
Yes. Most of the contracts you have to be under the listing price. What I'm telling you right now, though, is a cash buyer is whatever formula you have, a cash buyer is not going to guarantee to buy at that price. They have their own formula, and a lot of them have their own methods and their own wants and needs for actually going and actually buying a property. Maybe it's based on how much they want to get in rent, or maybe how much they think they can do a fix and flip on it. Their number is going to be different than yours. My best advice always for wholesaling is you have to just get the best price you possibly can under contract, and then try to sell that contract for the highest bid. That at the end of the day, if you get under contract for 100,000 and you have a 45-day inspection period, and on day 20, a cash buyer wants to buy it for less than your contract price, hey, the world ain't gonna end, right? You can get out of that contract fine. You're good, right? So at the end of the day, you just got to get contracts low enough and find people willing to buy it for more. That's it.
And if it doesn't sell, you could just back out of the contract. But that also doesn't look good to a lot of people.
It doesn't look good. That's why I don't put a property under contract unless I've done my numbers the right way.
So your best way of calculating ARV, just go by like 70%?
No. Go to freewholesaling.com and go through the modules. I'll show you how to do it.
All right. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it so much.
No worries, man.
Thanks for not being a guru.
Hey, man. You can talk to me any Thursday, man. I'm telling you right now. Just talk to me. I'm here to help. You know, like I here to eat your lunch, man. I'm not here to put you out of business. You ain't a guru, so I ain't trying to do that, man. You're good.
All right.
Just promise me one thing. You're going to take this business one step at a time, and that's it. I would ask you this question, though. Not put you on the spot, but how many cold calls have you done?
Cold calls?
Nicest way. This is in the nicest way possible. How many cold calls have you done?
I have done a lot of cold texts, but not cold calls.
Cold calls.
Yeah.
I want you to do this. Once you find a market, I'm going to challenge you to do 10 cold calls, talk to 10 people in person a week for an entire year straight. I promise you at the end of that, I'm not even telling you to do this just to find a deal. I promise you, if you just talk to 10 people who potentially want to sell the property and go through my script, hey, are the owner and are you interested? And expect them to say, F you, no. If you do 10 of that a week, that's 520 you'll do in a year. I promise you, you will not be nervous talking to sellers. Just do that, man. Or just cold call the for sale by owners and start doing that. Just not just to do deals, just to practice your way of talking to sellers. Your nervousness will, like, maybe first month or two it can be rough, but who cares, right? This is practice, man, and you get better every single time, dude.
And that's the reason I'm hitting on market. It's because, you know, realtors are more like professional in a sense, because it's their job.
I like off market, man. I'm not professional. I could connect to people better than realtors any day of the week. I don't care if you drive a Mercedes Benz and you wear a suit. I like talking to regular people because that's who I am. You know,
that makes sense. You can build good rapport with them.
I can build rapport with people just because I live life, you know? Like I hate the whole professional rapport building with realtors. Hey, you like fishing? I like fishing. Let's talk about fishing. You like football? Let's talk about football, right?
Politics is the big one.
Off-market better. Off-market's way better.
Thank you so much, Zach. I really appreciate this.
No worries, man. Are you going to do 10 a week?
Oh, boy. I had to try it somehow. I have to.
You see
I'm
this?
so nervous to do it.
So what happens when you talk, man? You talk to me one-on-one. I'm going to force you to get better.
Now I'm opening up with you more in the end of the call.
And here's the thing, you know, what's the worst that's going to happen? You call a for sale by owner and you ask them, you know, what price they're looking to sell. They give you the price they have. Go through my for sale by owner like lives and just say, hey, will he take a lower offer? And if they say no, go to the next one, right?
Yeah,
At
the
the end
other
of the day,
nerve-wracking thing was forgetting about like what to negotiate, like inspection periods, EMD, those type of stuff.
dude, that's the easiest part. That sounds like an excuse. EMD, $100. Inspection period, 30 days. What's the next one?
Lockbox and runner-ups.
They can provide a key. They provide a key. You don't even have to have a lockbox
And
on
getting
there.
the cash buyer when they're not there inside the property.
Have a runner.
So like, then where do we get the runner part from? That's my other problem.
Facebook. Freewholesaling.com, man.
Without
Facebook
paying
groups.
anything, I had to pay something, right?
Well, dude, like, what do you want to do virtual wholesaling or do you not? Like, you want to do it for free, go on a plane and drive there. If you absolutely want to do it for free, you can cut in a realtor percentage of the deal or another wholesaler percentage of the deal. Give a wholesaler 5% of the deal if they want to become a runner for you,
So
if you want to do it
JV.
for free. You can do that. It's not worth it, but you could. And I know a lot of wholesalers happily pay 5% of the deal just to be a runner, okay? There's probably 15 right now watching live in Georgia that would die to do that, okay? I know
Thank
Sue
you.
out here in Tampa would do that, you know, in Tampa. So it's like, you know, if you want to do it for free, that's a way. Not a way I recommend, but yeah, it's a way.
Zach, I'm gonna be honest. Thanks to you after this call, I feel more cool. Like I'm actually willing to call a FSBO right now.
You know why, right? You know why your listener was talking to me? You know I'm not going to be screaming at you.
Yeah,
Know
that's the
the
thing.
worst with me is I'm just going to make you accountable. I hope you understand when I tell you something, like I do it in a place in my heart where I want to make you a better at the stuff in this business.
So if you just get cussed out, just move forward. Next deal.
Dude, I always say this, man. I legit, when I figured out that the only person I ever care who has an opinion on me is my mom, that's it, right? You can go literally tell me I think you're stupid, or I think I think your hair color's stupid. It should be purple. I don't care. My mom thinks I'm cool, and at the end of the day, that's it, man. When I got gurus disparaging me, go check out the comments I get half the time. They're mean, man. I don't
comments
care.
are funny on the last debate.
They're funny. They're funny, man. But at the end of the day, I don't care. You know, the people in my life that love me, they're cool. That's it.
Well, you're a millionaire at 20, 21.
Dude,
that's like a big
you
thing.
already know this, man. It doesn't matter. Just trying to help the people out.
Exactly. That's the best part of this business. Help somebody out.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Zach. I don't want to take too much of your time.
All right. No worries, man. Appreciate it. Have a great one, dude.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Who we got here? Hello? All right. Authenticated with YouTube. All right. Active Wolf. FYI, guys, this is not on my mastermind. I just gave a link for people to talk to me one-on-one about their wholesaling questions. So you're going to get the fishermen. You can get the people trying to fish something out of me. You can get people that work for a guru trying to get me to say something crazy. If you've ever watched, I'm not going to get political, but like everyone figures out like, oh, how do you figure out when someone's fishing for you? If you ever watch like a political interview and you can tell the person interviewing you or asking you the questions is trying to trap you into a conversation. When you do debates, which fortunately I've done some debates, you can figure out when someone's trying to do some entrapment on you, like a detective, you know? So I think that's cute and funny. But who we got? Hello.
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
What's up? Is it Horatio?
It's Horacio.
Horacio?
Yeah.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. I just had a quick question because I kind of came across this today when I was trying to comp a property in Jacksonville. And I know Jacksonville is it's a disclosure state, right? Or Florida, I'm sorry. You guys.
Disclosure, correct.
Right. So, I mean, theoretically, I should be able to pull comps on Zillow. However, I noticed something weird. Some of the comps, there was like a 3-1, several that were selling for like 7.1 million, 8 million. However, in the area, nothing's selling for like more than 160,000. So I was just like, what is going on with that? Why do they do that?
Welcome to Duval County, man. Dude, I'm telling you, Duval County is weird. Weird, dude. Weird.
So you think it has to do with the county versus Zillow?
Dude, the whole county is weird. I've done Jacksonville. I've had JV deals set in Jacksonville. They're weird, man. You have one street. It's like my market in Port St. Lucie. It's like you got one market that is like you got one street that's selling for 200. Next street's like 100, and like they're all like weird. Comps are hard, dude. So like in Jacksonville, unless what market are you in?
Well, I'm in Texas, but just recently started tapping into Tampa and Jacksonville.
Why?
Mainly for the price points.
Okay, where in Texas are you?
I'm in Austin.
Okay, and why aren't you doing the surrounding areas there?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about why. I guess if I had a reason, it'd be just because of the price points were so high. And honestly, I just haven't tried.
Okay. I'm going to try to figure out. Are you in Austin, or are you in a suburb?
I'm actually in Round Rock, maybe 15 minutes from Austin.
How far are you from Killeen?
From Killeen? It's probably about an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
What's the average ARV in Killeen? Let's figure it out.
There's a lot of activity there for sure. A lot of movement because of the military base.
All right, Killeen's average price is $203,000. All right, so I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna say this in the nicest way. Your local market is gonna be way better. I know this is a virtual wholesaling video, but I'm telling you, if you can go in person in Killeen, Texas, or like between here and Killeen, make an hour radius of how far 60 miles is from you around town, and any ARV under 350,000, make that your market. What's your average ARV in Round Rock?
About 350.
350.
It used to be 150 2 years ago, but just because we're so close to Austin, like everything near the Austin area just exploded.
Round Rock's 523. Jeez Louise. Okay. So yeah, I'd be heading north. That's outside where I'd be doing, but like find the markets near you. Just go on Zillow, find the cities of under 350. I would have you team drive for dollars there. You're just gonna have you're gonna have so much more success.
Sure.
And I'm not saying this out of like I have no ulterior motives with this, except I personally think driving for dollars in Texas is just the best one. I've seen too many people in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. The closest one near Austin where I've seen a lot of dude doing well in drive for dollars is Corpus Christi, but San Antonio technically. But like where I've seen ARVs under 250 in Texas is driving for dollars has just been the best. And then once you're in a non-disclosure state, which makes it even easier for you, honestly, with the sellers, you're going to do fine. I would probably choose toward that. What type of marketing would you be doing in Jacksonville?
Wholesaling and buy and holds.
Marketing.
Oh, marketing. Sorry. We're just actually, I have a VA that's doing on market distressed properties.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're reaching out to realtors and making offers through realtors, but also trying to connect with some there as well.
Okay. I mean, Jacksonville's going to be good, man. I'm just telling you, it's a tougher market. The guys and gals I know that do well in Jacksonville have been there for like 15 years. Mm-hmm. Kind of like my market. Like you got people from like California coming to my market. They're getting killed because one street, I'll tell you, there's one street I know where you could sell a thing all day. And then one street over, it's like, it's terrible because they're all 60s houses and they're brand new. So you can do Jacksonville. comps are hard, man. Reverse engineering is going to be the best one if you're going to keep doing the Jacksonville route.
Sure.
I would do just reverse engineering. Find a cash buyer and see how much you're going to pay for it, and just call them up. That's the best thing you can do.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I've made relationships with realtors. They send me comps, so that's good. And I've just been taking that route really instead of. I'll always try to do a Zillow comp or a realtor just to kind of do a quick check, but ultimately I end up getting CMAs from realtors.
Okay. I mean, if you got that Jacksonville realtor that's been a realtor for 15 years, they're probably going to be pretty good too.
Okay.
And so a local person, guy or gal that's been there for a while, you do fine.
All right. Yeah, no, sounds good. I mean, that was really my only question. I just thought it was weird. I didn't come across it anywhere else. So
no, Jacksonville was attractive for me when I was getting virtual. Cause I actually had people there I knew. It was just, it didn't really work out because it was just too much of a hassle for me.
Okay. No, it's good advice. So maybe I might reconsider that. And my brother's in Tampa, so I thought about just doing Tampa just because he could be my boots on the ground, you know.
Tampa ain't fun either, man. It ain't
What's
no picnic. Tampa ain't no picnic, man.
What do you mean by that?
It's saturated, man.
Yeah.
Especially virtual. It's tough, man. Like I could probably go to Killian, and if I had just had a regular high equity list and I had VAs cold calling, I could probably get a steady stream of deals. Tampa's a lot harder for me to do that. You know, that's the one issue I have.
Yeah.
The probate list, probably good in your local market outside of Austin. Probates in Tampa are already like terrible because you got to compete with agents in Tampa too. You got to remember that Tampa's really competitive for wholesalers, but also super competitive for realtors. So they're going after the same list too.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. No, I'll reconsider that for sure, so I don't waste my time over there. But I thought that was strange. Thanks for the clarification on that. And I did get a wholesale deal up in Copper's Cove, which is literally next to Killeen. So I think I'll probably just stick in that area then. Makes sense.
I'm going to do this the nicest way possible. I'm going to tell you to stop talking because I don't want thousands of people to be hearing anything good you have to say about that market. Okay.
All right. That's all good, man.
All right, man. I'm telling you, if you're having deals, I've said this a million times, double down. Hey, this little tiny market outside of Killeen's doing well. Double, triple, quadruple down on that. Once you're able to find a market that's like the big like influencers aren't talking about for virtual, you do well. Oklahoma City, man, 4 years ago was a gold mine until people started talking about it. And it was a decently sized city. You got to go out there and find one. There's plenty of them in Texas.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Have a blessed one.
All right.
Thanks. Boom. I love it. All righty. Mark says, if y'all fishing, bring the rod. What was that? Let's see what we got here. We got Active Wolf. Hey, unmute yourself. Up.
Oh, sorry. Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
You can hear you well. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's an honor to meet you. I just started watching your videos and everything quite recently on wholesaling and everything, so it's pretty excited to talk to you, man. Seriously.
Awesome, man. Thank you for giving me support. I appreciate it. What market are you in?
I live in Phoenix, Arizona, actually. Pretty saturated over here.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely like looking to virtually wholesale, and I mean maybe drive for dollars depending in the area. But I'm very inspired by you. I'm 20 years old. A year younger than you, so I'm like genuinely inspired by you. So I'm just trying to get all the information I can, and yeah. So
awesome. So what question you got?
What is the best like market do you think is for beginner wholesaler at least?
So I've said this. If you have, let's. All right, I'm meeting you real quick. You have the YouTube link on, so I gotta have you turn that off because it's echoing for us. So just FYI, I do that. I'll unmute you after. I just want to make sure there's an echo going in. But I would look at my top 25 videos and choose one of those markets. I goes ask which market to do. I'm not going to tell everyone which market to do. You got to figure out yourself. Because if I legit told you some of the best markets out there, everyone's going to be doing it. And unfortunately, I can't do it, So I've given you my top 25. I would choose the Southeast. I kind of talked about that a little earlier. All right.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I just wanted to touch base on you with like anything, and that's kind of it. So I appreciate you. Seriously.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Go market, man. Ask questions, and I'm here to always help.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support, man. It means a lot. Thanks. Awesome. Cool. Appreciate that. Next here we got Dylan's here a day early. What is up?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm blessed, man.
Oh, good deal. How's Pops?
Oh, he's doing well. I think he's on the boat right now.
Oh, good for him, man. Good for him. All right. Well, now, man, I appreciate you taking my call. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and just get your opinion on a couple things. So, also, tell you one guy, I know you said you gave him some good advice that Tampa's no picnic. Man, that is the truest thing I've heard all day. It is no picnic.
No, I see Steven in the comments talking about it too. Like, it ain't no picnic, man. It ain't easy. Everyone thinks Tampa is a super sexy market.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the problem is that it's very attractive for many people. And so it's very attractive for many, many people.
Yeah. So I feel it, but got to innovate.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to ask you is overall, my most challenging thing, I'm walking my dog, so I'm trying to get him going. My most challenging thing in this whole endeavor has been on the marketing side. Marketing, lead gen, that has been by far and away the most challenging aspect to try to nail down and improve on. As far as sending text messages, SMS marketing, do you know, I recently had to do the 10 DLC. I registered my company for 10 DLC. I had to in order to be able to send messages. Do you know what your reputation score is for your company when you guys register 10 DLC? From my understanding, it's a score that they give each company from 0 to 100, and it plays a large factor into the likelihood of your messages making it to their recipients and your deliverability rate.
I'm going to say this in the nicest way. Batch leads has a limit on how many texts you can send.
Yeah.
So I have multiple reputation scores.
Yeah.
Some are 100, some are I can't use anymore.
Okay.
That's the best way I can answer it.
I got you. Would you be
when you're
able
at the
to
point where you
share
have multiple accounts, it doesn't really matter to a point. That's all I could say on that end.
I hear you. Well, could I ask you this, and you just, I guess, answer in whichever way you feel most comfortable. Is there a minimum score that you have once you register one of your entities? Is there a minimum score that you have to say, okay, well, we're not going to focus as much on that because we know it's going to affect our deliverability rate? I'll let you know, right now, my score that I received is a 28 out of 100. And I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. It's just that, from my understanding, your entity gets a score based on how legitimate they perceive it to be, based on how long have you been around, what's your footprint online, how many different things do you have tracking back to your entity. And so I created my entity last year. I don't have a huge background for it. I haven't done anything wrong with it, but I received that score, and then ever since then, my deliverability rates have dropped off significantly.
I mean, we're in the 70s. So, how many spinner tokens you got?
I got 10 messages total, and each one has a spinner token.
How many spinner tokens per message?
1 spinner token per message.
Do 4.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I basically
you have to be at the point where every text is unique.
Okay.
Every text, there's like not one text that's the same. So if I have 10, I send 1,000, and I only have a spinner token with hey, hi, howdy in the beginning, you can get killed. Hey,
If you
is this the owner, residence of, right? I'm just trying to think of other ways we have it. Owner, residence of, person that lives in 123 Main Street, space, and you just, looking to sell your
Okay.
house, the home. Like, yeah, you got to change every single part.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we don't have a text that's the same for our messaging. Not one.
Okay.
They're all different.
Okay. All right. So that's definitely really helpful. I can do that. And on my intros, like I don't say the word sell, interested, buy, property. You did a video a couple months back with someone from Batch where you gave a ton of great information on like how you would suggest to set up SMS campaigns. So I basically have been I replicated that. So it's, hey, how's it going, Mr. Hey, how's it going? Did you get my message? Hey, this is Dylan in Tampa. I was just, did you get my message or something? Something like that, where it's general. It's not anything specific about any kind of property, just to get a response. But even so, I just noticed a substantial drop off from this 10 DLC thing. And then I was surprised when I got my score of 28 and, I don't know what to do to to overcome that, or how much of a factor that's playing into the deliverability rates and all that. So I can certainly do that. That'll be really helpful, and I'll quadruple the amount of spinner tokens per message that I have.
Yeah, do that. Also, you can test out other SMS places too and see what's going to change. I haven't really seen a big difference between the other ones. Increase the spinner tokens. Also, you can always just talk to Batch and see if there's anything they can do on their end. I've never really ran into that problem too much because we're kind of crazy. I have, I think, 200 templates just because
wow.
you do like 5 a week, 2 years.
Per campaign, you'll have. So if you have a campaign, you can only send out 1,000 messages per batch account. You're saying you got 10 or 200 like unique.
We have 200 like in our Google Drive. We'll do 15 per 1,000. You got to remember, you got multiple accounts if you're doing like that. But I'm not going to break. I can't talk about it too much. But like 1,000 a day, I ain't sending 1,000 a day. It's more.
Gotcha. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, yeah. So, okay, and then on the calling side, do you guys personally like check your numbers for if they're spams? What I've been doing is trying to check my numbers daily before my VA starts calling. But again, my connection ratio is also very low. It's difficult because there's so many variables, and it only takes one of these variables to be off to put your connection ratio or your deliverability rate in the toilet. And so trying to figure out, out of all these different things, which one to change and what not to change has been really challenging.
You already know this. You're gonna get mad at me for saying this, but it's the truth. That's the highest connection rate?
Driving for dollars.
Driving for dollars. Probates.
Dude, yeah, man. I got 2,000 driving for dollars listed. I've personally driven for.
Yeah.
And it's still. I mean, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's like at that point, the bigger the list, the lower the connection rate is going to be on it, because every other person in Tampa, St. Pete's doing that. So you got to look at it like that too.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why this was the perfect episode for me to watch for you for virtually wholesaling. It's funny, I see people, frequently say, "Oh, I'm in a small market. I want to virtually wholesale in Tampa." And I'm in the Tampa St. Pete market, and the more I'm in this, the more I'm thinking, man, maybe it'd be better if I virtually wholesale, in a market that doesn't have quite as much just competition and saturation.
Dylan, if you're sick of like dealing with the seller that's like, I want so much and my market's worth $1 billion, just go to a non-disclosure state in a small market under 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Just try that out. It's a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
And you can try that too.
That's interesting. Well, I think I'm really going to look seriously at that.
Yeah, seriously.
I-
If you already have batch, right, and you're either the list or you have PropStream, try non-disclosure state.
Mhm.
You might like it, you know? Some people really like non-disclosure states because you get an extra leverage on the seller. And if it's a small market, which you can choose, you
Yeah.
don't have to have that phone call where it's like, my market's worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah,
try
I
that, you
mean,
know?
99% of the people that I talk to that are interested in selling, their house needs $40,000. The ARV is 300, and they don't want a penny under 340.
Yeah.
Cash as is, and if you're not going to pay cash, then hit the road. Somebody else will.
Yeah. You got,
So, yeah,
I mean, I know a lot of people in like Wichita. They love it there, you know? It's
yeah,
smaller, non-disclosure. It's great. I said
I hear you.
Wichita because I don't want you doing Wichita because it's technically not the best in Kansas, but like stuff like that you got to think about, you know.
Yeah. No,
Avoid New Mexico though.
okay.
I haven't found people successful in New Mexico. I don't know why, but
Okay.
that'd be something I'd be looking into, man. Like it'd be opposite of what you're dealing with, and then just do 50-50, right? That's what I'd say.
Yeah. 50% still here in my home market and 50% trying to
Oh yeah.
expand out there. Okay, man. Well, I've seen your video too on like the top 25 markets to virtually wholesale in. I completely understand if you say like, hey, everyone go target this market. This is the best virtual market to be in. Well, tomorrow it won't be if you say that, and then everyone goes and floods it. So that
If
makes
you
all the
choose a
sense in the
market,
world.
don't choose a market I list on the top 25. Find your own.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
I'm telling you, like, you want to know how I found some of the best markets? Like, I'll reveal one of them, Severnville, Tennessee. I legit found that because I found 18-year-old kids were just doing deals out the wazoo, just posting checks on this big guy's wholesaling group when I was like 19. Just
Yeah.
keep posting post like four $20,000 checks, and he lived in like Chicago. I was like, where? Severnville? Boom, right? What's the
Yeah.
population of Severnville? It's tiny. So it's like, that's what you got to be doing. I think if you keep looking, you'll find it. But that's what I did.
No, that's really smart, and it's you're looking at it. You're getting creative because you have to, but you've done a very good job at getting creative and identifying opportunities where others don't. And
Yeah,
the
16,000
more and
people.
more 16,000 people.
16,000. Yeah,
So there's more than that on my block.
I know. So think about it like that. Now, not just doing that one market, but obviously like multiple ones, right?
Yeah.
I'd be looking into it, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna look into it and start researching more. I certainly appreciate all the advice as always, man.
Of course, man.
Everything you give back to the community, everything is really cool to see.
Appreciate it, man.
So, all right, brother. Well, I'll let you get to it. Help someone else out. Give me a shout. You ever make it up to St. Pete? Feel free to give me a shout, man. All right, brother.
Man.
Well, I appreciate you. Take care.
How you going, Dylan?
All right, bye.
Boom. Awesome. All right. And then we got Mark.
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
What's up, man? How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I just had a couple systems questions for you. So I'm in the process of scaling here, and I'm kind of restructuring my entire business. So as far as lead gen, right now I'm using REI Automator. I was in a mentorship program with Sean Terry. And so I get they're both integrated with PropStream, but now with the data issues, people are telling me that batch leads, you can actually receive MLS data. Is that accurate?
As far as batch, yes, I believe. I can't guarantee it's MLS data because I don't have the I've seen the back end on many of them. I know what their back ends are, but I can't guarantee it's MLS data. You're gonna have to look on the MLS and compare it, but it's the best thing you can get. I've done some videos comparing PropStream and them. What is that? REI Automator? Is that just a part of PropStream?
You know what? So it looks like Sean Terry went off and created REI Automator, but when I contact them, they're a sister company at PropStream. So it's technically PropStream.
Oh, they just have a back on. Oh, I know who. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know Sean. He said he was going to go on my podcast, and then his team like ignored me. So I don't know. Everyone out there has just been said to avoid me. So I don't know what's going on. That was like 3 years ago. So
Hey, I seen you on TTP though. So
huh?
I seen you on a TTP. You, Pace, and Jamil. That was a good interview.
Oh yeah, I went on that podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. Your dad too. That was a good interview.
Yeah. But no, I think that's just a back end on PropStream.
Okay.
I think James does that.
Are you using batch leads though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I use batch and PropStream.
What was that?
I use batch and PropStream both.
What's the why do you? I see a few people doing that. What's the difference? Or what are you using them for separate reasons?
PropStream, most of my direct mail lists are better in Florida for it. We pull the pre-probates, and then
Got it.
with a disgusting amount of skip tracing, and it's cheaper on batch.
Okay.
So the economies of scale make it work for me. For most people, it's not. But that's what we do.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay. And then as far as a CRM, what would you advise?
Podio.
Podio? Just basic Podio or Hercules?
Podio. Keep it simple.
You think I should hire a developer or?
Podio, man. My
mean,
acquisitions agents, if they have to manually get a phone call and have to manually put the lead in, you already know this. Once you have to manually put the lead in and actually put the notes in, you're more accountable and you memorize it better.
Okay. So just Podio, huh?
Simple,
okay.
Man. Yeah.
Okay.
I go my Podio. Hey, how many do you have under contract? Right? How many appointments for the day? I got the calendar there.
Okay. All right. Last question. So a large amount of my deals right now, I'm not going to say the hedge funds. I'm sure you got them also. Maybe I will. I am sending a large amount of my deals to hedge funds right now.
I would not say the hedge funds.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
All right, because they're buying at ridiculous rates. I came across a few major spreads, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 spreads, specifically from Open Door. Open Door, you need to be on title for them to actually purchase those deals. Do you know how to get around that by chance?
Okay. So Open Door doesn't do my personal markets, and that's not a hedge fund that I use. Technically, I don't even call them a hedge fund to a point.
Yeah. And that wasn't the hedge fund I was talking about. That was just another
double closing with Open Door. I don't think that would fulfill it because they would want clean title. So
yes, true.
You probably can't double close it.
No.
You could do two things. Does the name have to be on the title?
Yes.
Okay. Either you can put it in a trust and own it for a week, and maybe that'll suffice.
Okay.
It depends. Is this all virtual for you?
Yes.
All right. If Open Doors, yeah.
Transactional funding?
Yeah, but then you have to hold the property.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah. I mean, you're almost better wholesaling that point.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, with Open Door, you can make some crazy spreads. It's just getting that transfer over.
You just got to ask him, how long does the title have to be in there for? Because that might be something... You have to be on the title, though. So
yeah, that's the issue.
I mean, you could technically... maybe a novation, but like then you won't be on the title, though. And then, obviously, you putting yourself on the title before you buy it's fishy. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Honestly, I would honestly wholesale it like through them.
Okay.
And see if that could work. I would try that, Maybe put like 1,000 into it, make it look nicer. Maybe they'll pay more, but like it just depends.
So you're gonna fair enough. Take it down yourself.
Yeah, if they're paying more than, I don't think they pay that much more than a hedge fund where it's worth actually closing it yourself.
Right.
But
right. Fair. Okay. Okay, and last one for me here. I'm hiring an acquisitions team here, and on freewholesaling.com, I'll be able to send them through some training.
You can use the training on it for acquisitions, but your best acquisitions training is going to be recordings of you or your team closing deals. So I always do the 3-3-3 approach on it.
Okay.
I would urge you to do that. That's the best acquisitions training I've ever done, where they watch you or a team member of a recording or in person. I do in person. So how the acquisitions person watch me personally close 3 deals of 30,000 or more. In the middle, you kind of do the Bonnie and Clyde type thing, working together. And at the end, so that's 3 there. And then the last 3, you watch them in person close 3 deals of 30,000 or more. Used to be 25, kind of put it to 30 now. Once you see your acquisitions manager close 3 deals all by yourself, they're pretty much good to go.
Okay.
And that should take like 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Having them, if it's just one.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think that's about it. I appreciate you, Zach. I know for a lot of the beginners out here who might just be getting into it, you're really putting out a lot of value for free, and I do appreciate that. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Okay. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Boom. Awesome. All righty. Ooh. All right. See what other questions we got. Terry says, the bad part about living in Florida now is real estate keeps rising because I keep hearing people from California, Texas. Terry, this has always been a thing for Florida, so I don't really blame that. It's just, yeah, I mean, the weather's great here and there's no sales. There's no state income tax. Of course, there's going to be a steady increase. I wouldn't call it a bad part. It's actually a good part, you know? Let's see here. Pat.
Zach, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Pat. Yeah, can you hear me? Zach, what's going on, man?
Yeah, you have YouTube on.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Zach, what's going on?
Yeah, you got to turn the YouTube off.
Okay, so I'm up here in Nashville, Tennessee, and the market over here is like crazy oversaturated and inflated. It's got to the point where people don't even want to sell their house for the point that they can't find another place to go buy afterwards. You know, I've done some wholesale deals, but I was mainly a buy, rehab, and flip them. I got 2 questions for you. You in particular, what would you say your best method of marketing that you have success with versus the cost of the other methods of marketing?
Say that one more time. Hold on.
What is your best method of marketing that you're having success with versus the cost of some of the other methods, you know?
So cold calling is going to be my best one. ROI wise. My best one's technically direct mail, but I'm not telling you to spend $5-6K a month in direct mail. I'm in a different market, obviously. My ARV is pretty much similar to yours, though. It's pretty comparable. But I would say cold calling gets me a way better return on my investment, obviously. So SMS is okay. Like it's not insane.
I've done an SMS and I didn't have any luck. Matter of fact, I used your batch link and all that stuff, and I really found that to be like a lot of the numbers were wrong dealing with batch. I don't know if people were just saying that just to be a quick response, but they were like wrong number and stuff like that. Most of my leads. Yeah,
well, I mean, if you have 3 phone numbers for one prospect, 67% of them are going to be wrong.
Okay.
You remember that too. If you just did phone number 1, it'd be a lot higher. So you can do it from that angle too.
Uh-huh.
The next, I mean, I wouldn't even do SMS in Nashville. It's kind of it's a saturated market, obviously. So
crazy.
I'd stick to niche lists for cold calling. Like that's what I do in drawing for dollars outside of Nashville. So I've been to Nashville a couple times. I'm trying to remember. There's a couple good markets outside of there.
Yeah, see, I'm from this whole area, Nashville, Middle Tennessee, and it's like so many people from California and just all these different areas moving down here. And it's gotten to the point I've been buying and flipping them for like 5 years, 6 years. And now it's to the point where up here in this Nashville, Murfreesboro area, people are like
Murfreesboro. Okay.
Murfreesboro, yeah.
Okay.
They want market value. I had a deal come across my table like 2 weeks ago, and the guy wanted market value for it, and it needed like 70,000 in repairs, man. Like,
yep.
And actually, somebody went and bought it. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, man. We had a deal we were looking at. The seller wanted 260 for it, and then they put it on the market, and it sells for 230 with a realtor. And they're going to my team wanting to sell it for 260, and then at the end of the day, the highest bid's 230. So they either go, and then the realtor has to talk sense into them. So remember, man, we're only talking to 1% of the deals where the seller is willing to give up equity for a cash sale. So you got to understand that too. When you're strong with it, you just got to go the most motivated list possible, you know? Like a pre-foreclosure lead's probably not going to be like that, right? A fire damage property lead, a code violation, water shut off. Like you kind of have to go in some of the more niche lists if you don't want to deal with this type of people. It sounds like a high equity list to me.
That's what I had been doing, but I've been watching some of your videos.
You're talking to the guy that cold called high equity leads 5 hours a day for a year straight. I know what those sound like, man. They suck.
I'm feeling like that now. Like I got to change that up.
I mean, have you been pulling the government lists?
No, that's one of my next moves. I got to start zoning in on the list.
You know it's a good list. Just pull it, man.
Yeah.
I was screaming about it yesterday. You know it's a good list. Just do it.
I got 2 other questions, and they're quick questions. So with negotiating with people, like I said, people want market value for things up here. Is there any kind of like secret or tip or way you go about negotiating? Like it's a psychology type thing where I'm not going to throw that price out there first. I'm waiting on them to do it. But I sometimes have people say, well, why don't you make me an offer? And I don't want to disrespect them or scare them away. We need to get in some medium ground where we're, you know.
Yep. So here's what I do. You've done enough deals, I think, right? Where like you've seen a good deal, bad deal.
Right.
This is always my process, right? Let's just say from prospecting, right? Are you interested in selling your property? Yes, I am. 4 questions qualifying, right? Motivation, condition, time frame, price. If there's enough motivation, I don't care about price. If there's enough motivation, I'll meet them at the house, or my team will meet them at the house. Before we meet them at the house, we have to make sure they're actually motivated enough to make a decision on selling that day. So it's called conditioning the seller. And if someone has a big enough motivation and they are ready to make a yes or no decision on selling when you give an offer there, you're good to go. When you say, hey, are you ready to make a yes or no decision if I meet you at the property? And they say, oh, I have to think about it. That's a waste of a deal. So you get asked when to give the offer. I give an offer when our team's in person and that person's ready to make a yes or no decision. The worst thing is when you call, you work hard, you follow up, and then the seller says, I'll think about that offer. I need a yes or no, right? That's what I've seen, because you heard what I said. That person, you don't know if they're going to sell for a discount or not, but if you can have a seller that says, I'm ready to make it a yes or no decision and their motivation's there, all you can really ask for is like a 60, 50% shot at getting that deal, right?
Right.
Going over appointments are fine, right? 3 appointments a week, you're going to get a deal a week doing that. So if you get them at that point, there's a good percentage of getting a deal there. And then you let the motivation and in-person rapport building from there. The next part is like, I don't know if you're asking this, but like, whenever a seller tells me that, hey, I want to sell for market value, my best acquisitions tip is, here's a realtor. Hey, I know Pat. He's a great realtor. He'll hook you up. You could sell for full market, make sure everything's right for it, right? And go from there. Oh, I don't want to list with a realtor. Well, then you're not going to get market, right?
Right.
I'm going to offer you cash. And you go from there. Like you cannot negotiate somebody down that wants to sell for the most.
Well, that's one of the things. These people get on Zillow or, real estate websites and look up their value and think, oh, this is what my house is worth. And it might need a whole gang of repairs. And it's like, they want that. But it goes back to what you said. If they're not motivated, they're not motivated. But since you say our medium price, our markets are similar to where you're at, to where I'm at up here in Nashville, Middle Tennessee, what percentage are you using? I always went by 65 to 70, and most of my deals have been under 65, but I'm not seeing that that calculation really work out like that anymore.
83 to 84.
83.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, you sell to a hedge fund, they're going to buy at 87, 88. The cash buyers are crazy right now.
Yeah.
You have enough, if you have a good enough cash buyer, they're going to be buying at 83, 84 all day. So anything below that, I found.
Oh, you said they're buying it. The hedge funds are buying it. What?
Like 88.
88.
And they're buying Nashville easy. I think I've saw 20%. I got to look at my stats. I don't like saying stats, but I've seen at least 20% are like institutional buyers buying real estate right now, like hedge funds, like funds like that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I've seen, you already know, like you've already said this, people are buying these nasty houses for like an insane price.
Right.
Find a cash buyer that'll do it. There's plenty of them out there, you know.
That's not even the problem. It's finding the deals. Like the last 2 years, it's been like dried up for the little guy. You know, you got to be
that.
Like,
and then ask people the government list.
Okay, I'm gonna check some of your other videos out and look at some of the specific niche lists to look at.
Don't watch the video. I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
Call the fire. Get the fire damage property list. Call the firehouse's fire department. They're gonna say no. You're gonna have to ask 15 times. Water shutoff list. Do that for every county and city within an hour from you. Code violations. Pull the probates. I'd probably just stick to those right now and drive for dollars if you can. Obviously, gas is more expensive, but like that's what I'd be doing. IRS debt lien list. You're telling me on this live that you're having a struggle. Go to the arrest list and do the arrest records too. If like you really want to get into it, like if you really want to like not struggle for leads, start doing the hard stuff. Things start changing.
Here's something that crossed my mind. Like in this neighborhood I live in, I bought this house over here and I kept this one. There's a lot of abandoned houses nobody wants to sell. I'm getting to the point where I'm wanting to actually start calling codes on people. You got places sitting there falling down and they're just waiting for development to happen, or some developers. They'll start taxing them or whatever, finding them day by day, right? When you call codes. Huh?
Okay. First of all, I would never call a code violation on somebody.
I don't want to be that guy either. But
you don't want to be that guy, man. I just, that's bad that's bad juju. I would never like try to find someone purposely. A 90-year-old lady in your neighborhood is going to be doing that. Not you. Okay. Find the owners of that property though.
This is a slumlord type person.
Yeah. All right. So the owner's that slumlord type person. Do they have people living in it?
No.
Oh, what are they doing with the house then? It's
just vacant, ate up with termites falling down. She's got like 4 of them within like 3 streets of my house. Yeah.
Have you talked to him or her?
No. I was looking for his number and they said I gotta contact a realtor. He don't talk to unsolicited type stuff, people and stuff like that.
Well, guess fine.
I was skip tracing his number, couldn't get a good number for him.
Okay. All right. That's weird, man. Just put a sticky note in the house. There's plenty of them out there, though. Go after you. I'd avoid the vacants. Just do those government lists, man.
Yeah,
pull those.
I'm gonna check out these lists that you told me to target, no doubt.
And if you want to get real creative, go to the pre-foreclosures and just door knock the ones near you. If you really want to
go to the door and talk to the people
for the pre-foreclosure, sure. Like if you're struggling to get leads, go try it. You know.
Okay. No doubt. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out. You'll see me again, and I'll let you know how everything went, bro.
Good, man. Appreciate it.
Good looking out. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Pat. Have a great one.
You too.
Oh. Shane says, quick question, Zach. Do you know any software called Propellia? If so, would you recommend it? I've heard of it. I don't currently do it though. I've not heard bad stuff about it. Pat asking the good questions. Oh, yeah. Good job, Pat. This is great info. Y'all need to listen to exactly what Zach's saying. I'm like a broken record. I'll just say the same thing. Even if I know it's the right thing, I'm just going to keep saying it over and over again. I don't know how many times. I mean, Pat asked, I'll say it. I've preached about government lists. How much have Steven and MJG, Smooth Criminal, and Russian Eskimo, how much have you guys had to endure? And the women watching, the men and women watching have to endure of me screaming about government lists for Pat to finally write down to do government lists, right? Guys, I'm just going to tell you what works and what I know works today. If you are struggling right now to get leads, struggling, pull the government list. The water shut off, fire damage properties, code violations, probates. Hey, you're telling me more? Door knock a pre-foreclosure. If you are that motivated, like a seller, you'll door knock a pre-foreclosure. Go call the arrest records if you really want to get into it, right? I'm telling, like, there is a plethora of leads out there. You're just going to have to do the stuff that no one else is willing to do. And this is just the stuff you have to do to be successful, especially when you're starting out. Oh, I know it's more saturated. It's more easier to sell a deal. Okay? Jeez Louise. Nobody cares how much you spend in marketing. It's just about getting in front of that seller. That's all it is at the end of the day. Jonathan says, awesome live. Appreciate that. Florida's not cheap. Oh, yeah. It ain't getting cheap, but there's still cheap places in Florida. Does anyone know if this was recorded? Yeah, all these lives are recorded, so you do get the replays after. We live, boy. Oh, my gosh. Virginia is not guaranteed. It's going to be a crazy hot state because of the new governor. Maybe. Hey, Zach, how do you know when a market is saturated? I'm in Macon. Macon's not as saturated as like Atlanta, so I'm not going to call it saturated. I would probably drive for dollars, though, in that market, though. The more no's you get with the sellers, the faster you'll get a yes. 100%. F the overthinking. 100%. I agree with that one. Super rich. There's some interesting profile pictures. I feel as if the numbers are too tight. Maybe a person that does seller finance with the cash buyer, since they would do buy skinny deals. I don't know what fee to add though. Most people add like 3,000-4,000 fees on top of it. Best contract to use? It's freewholesaling.com. Y'all know that. Y'all know the vibe. Are hedge funds as good as the gurus say? Surprisingly, actually, they are. If like you're in a market where the hedge funds are buying, surprisingly pretty good. I cannot lie. When I was talking about hedge funds for the gurus though, so sleeping on REI Jones. I wish I was. I ain't sleeping on Baltimore, man. I ain't sleeping on Baltimore. I promise you. Okay, I know plenty of wholesalers there. I ain't sleeping on it. Still a good one though. I should come out and visit though. I think that'd be fun. This is great info. Thank you. Mark says, any chance you have a list of investor-friendly title companies in Florida that are cool with assignments? Depends on the market. All right, let's see here. One Ton Patriot Brandon says, I have a seller whose parents passed away, said the property has a lien from Medicare, but no info and no liens show up when looking at the county and PropStream, only found delinquent taxes. Medicare lien. If you don't see on the public records, just have the title do it. See if they know if they have proof of the lien. Maybe they think there's a lien and there's not, or maybe they have a bill from Medicare. It just depends. Hey, Zach, talking to a probate lead, but the house is a land lease with a club. Can I still wholesale it? Yes, you can. It ain't going to be the best one, though. I'm telling you that right now. Will this pose any issue? It's been vacant 5+ years, so I'd expect liens to be listed by now. Any advice to verify there's nothing Medicare, Medicaid? Running the title, man. That could be the only way. Just the 70. All right, talk to Pat already on this one. What does the conversion with the runner sound like? Any conversation? That's a good price for a runner. $50. Hey, can you take pictures of this property and then let this person actually go walk it? It's pretty simple, man. I'm familiar with the DMV area, Washington, D.C. market. I would probably avoid it, though. Great question here. How do you feel about hiring cold callers in the beginning? I usually stay away from cold calling, hiring cold callers in the beginning. I make $100K first and then go from there. Khalil said, what's the lowest hanging fruit from the government list? Probates. And then Nandy Estates says, what do you think of sale and federal tax liens? Federal tax lien, that's the IRS lien. Yeah, that's okay. State works too. State usually more aggressive, though. This lady said she's interested in selling, but she went ghost. I think I need more practice. Well, try to call them on a different number and see if they want to come back. That could be another thing too. Are wholesale deals really happening with sellers that are getting 20 offers and more on their listed properties? If it's listed, yes. I'd use the free wholesaling.com one for Texas. So we're going to ask here from SRT Drew, what contract to use for Texas. I'd probably be doing that one. Jose says, appreciate you, Zach. You really put out free game. I appreciate it. I'm not going to, I figure I'd get an end buyer to pay the EMD is not best. Yeah, that's what I've seen. Jonathan Sosa says, so frustrated with everyone wanting the Zillow's estimate, even people have liens. Any advice? Tell them to call up Zillow to buy their house. If they want the most for it, list it with a realtor. We're dealing with the 1% of people that want to sell the property for a discount. At this point, everyone is conditioned to believe your course has no value because it's free. Do they want to pay 10? This sounds crazy. But I ever said this, I could charge $5K for that course, and I would say probably 10 to 20 people a month buying it. That's a very conservative estimate. Probably at least 20 people buying it per month if I sold the thing for $5K. I'm telling you right now, if I had a coaching call every week on that thing, oh my gosh, the thing would sell like crazy. Okay, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. Course is free, no selling funnel guys, no catch. The only catch is to learn the business. Some people get things for free and ask why it's free. LOL. I don't blame people seeing if there's a catch because I get it. No one else in wholesaling is doing this, so it seems scammy. Unless you're unless you start watching my lives and you figure out, I'm not trying to sell you anything here. You're good to go. I just think it's funny. I am says, I'm savvy. Hey, Zach, I have a property under contract right now, and it's a full gut. I've been marketing it for about 4 days now. I did my research on the area, but cash buyers don't want the property. Cash buyers usually don't want the property because you probably don't have it at a low enough price. Cash buyers always want houses, even in like a tear down house. They want them. It's just dependent on the price. Do you think Pody is the best CRM to use? Yes. Sounds like he has animosity towards this dude. Oh, he's a fishing dude? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Nebraska, I've already said this one, like Nebraska, they're just trying to change the way, like Oklahoma, where you can't publicly market the contract. What's up, Brandon? Brandon Baldwin out here. What's up, bro? They're just changing the way you can publicly market the deal. So really the only thing that changes is you can't post it on Facebook or Craigslist, the deal, which I already tell you guys not to do. So it really doesn't affect us. It's the marketing that you get in trouble for, technically brokering in the state of Oklahoma, and now they're doing it for Nebraska. Means if I already marketed my cash buyers and say, hey, cash buyer, looking to buy more properties, and if you don't specifically mention that property, it just properties in general, and then you call that person out, you're good. You just can't email blast anymore or text blast. But if you just call your list, that's privately marketing, and you're good to go. Treat it like a pocket listing. The best way I could legally say that. But yeah, I'm not a lawyer, tax professional, realtor, or anything like that. But the only thing about Nebraska is you just have to call. Basically, the only thing I've seen from this is you just have to call the cash buyers. You just can't post it on the internet. You just have to call the buyer about the deal, and you're fine. And just find your buyers. Just say, hey, I'm looking to sell more properties. I'm a wholesaler. You're good to go. It doesn't really change anything. Like it's a big, like, is it worth monopolizing the whole industry for? No. Right. But is it worth getting your assignment fee taken away from the real estate board? No. Like I just, I don't see it. Right. And that's why, like, I'm getting asked here to use Investor Lift, like, see that'd be publicly marketing the deal for sale. And that's what they're probably going to regulate out. But, I'm not even like, I see wholesalers post deals on Zillow as their own deal, and you're technically selling the deal, not the contract. So it's fine. So yeah, you just can't publicly market your equitable interest, but I can cold call my cash buyers. Like, even texting them is technically private. They don't really define it. So I just got to be careful with that. But guys, like, at the end of the day, that regulation's nothing. Like, you just can't post online, which I've been doing in years. So I think it really changes much. But yeah, guys, we're going to talk about tomorrow. Rick will hop on. We'll talk about that law, like, if you want to know more about it. But I'm telling you, it's people try to do fear. They try to fear monger. Oh, I told you so. Well, I can't post a deal on Zillow anymore. Like, I never used to do that. I still think that's technically unethical to a point. So, oh my gosh, it's stupid. But guys, I'm telling you, these gurus be trying me every day. They're infiltrating the lives, as you can see, trying to throw me off. I think it's cute. I think it's funny. So guys, go to freewholesaling.com. This is the 6 steps for virtual wholesaling. Got any questions? Smash that like button and subscribe. DM me anything. Love to talk. Go to freewholesaling.com, and see you guys tomorrow and see how I can help the people out. But I appreciate you guys. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Have a blessed